I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve them. No, that don't mean money will solve them.
You know, I don't want to jump too far down the line. Yeah, because that was deep. I'm soaking it in, even though this is an interview. It's like I'm just talking to you, and also I'm soaking everything in that you're saying. Because,
Right.
like I said, this really means a lot to me, and I feel like any steps of success that you have, me and a lot of other people that's going to be viewing this will, you know, suck that in. You know what I mean? So thank you definitely for the knowledge.
Not a
But
problem.
you know, one of the movies that I grew up on, like I said, I'm 33, was Paper Soldiers, man. It
Mm-hmm.
was a very hood classic, as we call it, man.
Right.
And I actually had locked in with Smokey Swear also, and
Right.
he was talking about like you know, God's willing, we should be doing an interview sometime in the future. But you know, we were talking about where, you know, y'all were pretty much writing like your own
Yeah.
scripts.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Like, how did Paper Soldiers come about?
All right. So people understand, and I'll make it very clear. I was headlining Caroline's on Broadway, and Dame came down there with a whole crew of Rockefeller people, and came to the show, and he came right up to me and said, "Yo, I'm making a movie. I want you to star in the movie." And then he said, "I want you to bring the little guy." Didn't even know his name. The little guy was Kevin Hart. Be my opening act. He was on the first tour with me when we toured Prison, and that's how that all started. Dame connected to me, and I always pay homage to Dame because he believed in giving young brothers opportunity, and that's the same cloth that I'm coming from. You know, unfortunately, he got big and they try to shut him down, but a person like Dame, you can't shut down. He will always make something out of nothing. And I learned from him. And so with that being said, he just let us flow. There was a script. Don't get me wrong. There was a script. And the script was a good script. It was actually a true story with Paper Soldiers where guys from Jersey was robbing people, houses. And some of them were involved in the movie as well. But the real key was Dame saw something in a lot of people, including Kevin Hart. Like, he just saw him that one time. And I had other comedians there. I was like, yo, you know, because that's the way I am, to say, hey, I can bring some other guys. He was like, nah, just bring you and the little guy. And that's how it started.
Wow, that's real heavy. So, how did you and Kevin Hart relationship start? Because if I'm not mistaken, you're the first person that put Kev on tour as far as having him on the tour.
Yes.
How did y'all guys get a chance to link up?
I have nothing but respect for Kev because I used to host this club called Bronx BBQs, which was like the #1 club in New York for urban comedy besides Rob Stapleton's Sugar Shack. But Rob had a more of a comedians who were right about to make it, like Monique, Mike Epps. He used to deal with them. I used to deal with the younger guys, and we became heavy hitters. And what I liked about Kev more than anything is he lived in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
He would travel every day. His ex-wife at the time would drive him to come out to these shows. Even if he knew he wasn't getting on, he would still come out and just try to get a spot. And then he got, you know, looked at the Comedy Cellars, where that's kind of like the next step for a comedian, an urban comedian, to start being watched by white people. And so just the work ethics of him was just out of this world. He'd be tired. He'll sleep on Dean Edwards' couch, but he would still come out there because New York was the mecca for comedy and do his thing.
Back. So you basically introduced Kevin Hart to Dame because you already had like a relationship with him. So,
Yeah, no question.
wow. So, you know, for those that's watching, without Capone, we might not know who Kevin Hart was. You know what I mean? Seriously, you know that the one hand washed the other, man. So salute to you for that. Seriously, man.
Thank you.
Definitely. So, in the past, you know, I heard you speak on also another comedian, but definitely a legend from Philadelphia, which is Bill Cosby. We know he's sitting in an unfortunate situation
Right.
How do you feel about Bill Cosby being in the condition that he's in and not receiving like no compassionate release or anything due to his health issues? You know, he's very like prone, if that's the word I'm looking for, to like picking up COVID and things of that. Like, how do you feel about that situation? Like he having, I feel, you know,
I felt like the black voice will turn on you. Whatever these people say we did it. And we're talking about evidence of white people that were charged with the same thing, that Weinstein's and all of this, and none of them are in prison. And
back.
it's just the problem about this whole thing is Bill Cosby had white people money. And when he went to buy NBC, that's when they changed everything around. They don't want us to have this type of power. And anybody who speaks on it, they try to close their mouths. And the thing is, when you're not afraid to die, which I have a lot of respect for Bill Cosby, because whatever they dished at him, he took it. He took it. And, you know, you can look at me being a small celebrity or whatever you want to call me. I see how the women come at you. I see how you can easily be set up. But the powers that be, that when you have a legacy like that, they would try to take it down. Same thing with R. Kelly. I'm not saying what he did was right, but
I
there's
know what you're saying.
Presley, who married a 15-year-old girl, never went to prison. Jerry Lee Lewis, 13-year-old girl, never went to prison. So when you look at this and they putting the shit right in our face of what they do to us, the bad part is they won't fucking do it if black people just stick together. Soon as they said this about R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, we turned on them. We started making jokes around. You don't see no fucking Harvey Weinstein jokes. And so asking how I feel, I'm pissed the fuck off because we turn on each other quicker than a fucking flip mattress.
That's true. It's true, and that's deep. And the people need to hear that, man, because I feel like nobody has been pushing for this man. Like you said, it's been more jokes than anything. Just like you said with R. Kelly, nothing more than jokes. I feel like when you reach a certain level, and like you said, when you do get those big bucks, when they feel like that you're not being controlled by anybody, they want to attack you in any way they can. And we all know that once something gets thrown out on the news, or the whole world believe it. You know what I mean? They're knocking you down.
They said Prince was on drugs. He overdosed on drugs. Soon as he get the fucking rights to his music, he wins the case. All of a sudden, he's on drugs. Michael Jackson, they try to put children on him. He wasn't found guilty, but they still did what they had to do. I mean, come on, man. These motherfuckers want to control us forever like we're animals. And the only way we can stop it is by sticking to fucking together. That's it.
Facts. Yeah, that's super heavy, man. And you know, just to jump on into the next topic, let's talk about Team Capone. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you had Team Capone set up and everything. You know, how did that come about? Because I don't really know as far as it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really know a comedian on earth that, you know, set up. That's like talking about Team Giannis or something like that. You know what I mean? How did that come about?
It comes from being a boss. And one thing about a boss is when you eat, you feed. And as long as you feed, you'll continue to get blessings. So what I mean by that is I remember when I was a comedian that just started and people were eating. And all I wanted to know was, how do I get fed? And they turned their back on me. There was comedians who were in places that all I needed was advice. You know, coming to a point where, hey, I want to do Def Jam. And they would laugh at me. And so I made a vow, just to make a long story short, if I ever became successful and had enough power to put anybody on, not just anybody, young, hungry comedians that really want to rock out, that really want to do tours, that really know how to listen, that I ain't got to put my hands on or show I'm a nigga with skills, and we can really, really flourish. That's what Team Capone stood from. I had a crew, a couple of crews. A lot of them didn't make the cut. You know, you give them a little taste, they go to places that they can't even pronounce, and then all of a sudden, somebody's in the air, well, Capone is getting this and y'all getting this and I'm taking your money. And that's how people fall off. The crew I got now is solid. And it ain't about money, because when I'm eating, they eating. That's just the bottom line. And that's what Team Capone is all about. Helping hungry comedians get to a place where, you know, they can keep working.
There's a thin line between life and death. An SV Twiz film that shows the truth about what's going on in the hood.
I'm telling bro, I can't call it. I live. Yeah, cousin, if you're gonna be able to help me out with this job, like I need this one, bro, bad. Like I'm not trying.
You've seen the rest. Now it's time to see the best. Starring Vodka 1000 Proof and SV Twiz.
Real nice one, like
a hood drama that shows you the meaning of money, power, and respect. Torn apart.
Yo, you really doing your thing with that girl.
Like, what's up, nigga? I can't call it, bro. Hey, yo, what's up?
Watch it now on YouTube at Life with the Philly Fam.